What's good, everybody? This is Y and Z Conversation Between the Generations. I represent the first half of that equation, Generation Y, aka known as the Millennials. The other half is, a little tongue twisted right now. The other half of that equation is my younger brother over there,
And
representing
we're
the
feeling
Z.
amazing. That is Generation Z. A
Don't do it.
little thirsty, drinking up a little water
Oh,
here.
yeah, gotta have the water. Yeah,
Hope
like
y'all doing all right. How you doing over there, old man?
it's a good week, as much as good can be in these kind of days and ages. Just passage of time, brother. Life is real
Yeah.
and things keep moving. Like,
They don't
share,
stop,
subscribe.
man.
What's up?
They don't stop.
No.
I just feel like this weekend was just so interesting. I know you're not a wrestling fan, but we had Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble. That was the biggest shock.
Well,
To think that it's Jey Uso and John Cena in the last two.
let me ask you this, because yeah, I'm not a wrestling fan, but I've been seeing some of the talk, and apparently Netflix is not doing a good job with this thing. It's not being
Bruh,
received
it was
well.
the first time Netflix started spazzing out was yesterday. First of all, this is okay. Let me just dive into it right quick. So internationally, the WWE, all of their programming is on Netflix.
Okay.
That's Raw, SmackDown, NXT, all pay-per-views is on Netflix. But for the United States, only Monday Night Raw is on Netflix. You still got to watch NXT on cable television. You still have to watch SmackDown on cable television, and to watch the pay-per-views, you have to have Peacock. So
Mhm.
we have to have essentially three different forms of platforms to be able to consume all of their content. So that's one thing. On Netflix alone, this is where the disparity comes in. For some Americans, no matter what tier of Netflix you buy, some Americans are getting commercials.
Mm,
Others are not.
right.
And the thing, what is happening is the WWE is releasing content during those commercial breaks. So people are literally missing out on genuine screen time while there's supposed to be a commercial for some. But because they're not only catering to Americans, you have to do something in the commercial for the rest of the world to see. So that, and yesterday it was glitching bad. I don't know what Netflix had going on coming into February. I don't know what else they have, but they need to get it together. The first all of January was great.
Mhm.
Smooth streaming, great stuff like that. But yesterday, it was glitching bad. It was glitching
So,
bad.
so it hasn't been solved with Beyonce and the halftime performance. Things have been that was just, I guess, they put all their resources to make sure that was straight. Is what
You
you're
see what I'm
telling me.
saying? Don't know what happened there. You got Luka Doncic, LA Lakers. What is going on this past weekend?
What,
And
what,
then
what's interesting with that though is generally because this, Super Bowl is this weekend. Generally, this week is like, yeah, no other sport matters
yes,
about the Super Bowl, and it's generally mentioned with the NBA. They're like, yeah, the NBA be struggling to find relevance somehow. With the first half of this week, they struck relevance with that trade,
Jesus.
which is a
You
rarity.
forgot who was in the Super Bowl when you heard that news about Luka Doncic going
I
to
mean,
LA.
they didn't really start talking about the Super Bowl till halfway through the week. I guess only now they're really getting deep into the coverage. The first half of this week has been
Sure.
the NBA and these trades. So kudos to the NBA because generally
Not
this
for
is a
real.
dead zone for y'all. So y'all found relevance somehow in Super Bowl week. Quite
And then,
impressive.
of course, this weekend was
We
the Grammys.
we gonna get into it. It's Black History Month. We still repping. Shout out to the HBCUs, the greatest of all time. Um, Howard, I know you got your little Alcorn over there, but it's all HBCU. Black History Month. We celebrating, and of course, what's the face for? You hating? Salty? Are those salty chips or salty crackers? Make sure you drink some
They're
of that water.
Ritz.
Oh, Ritz is salty. Yes. So yes, they are salty. Uh, and speaking of salty crackers, we had the Grammys. I'm gonna get in trouble for that one. We had the Grammys over the weekend, which is one of the things we are definitely jumping into this week. Like, share, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. Um, the big thing of the night was you had Beyonce taking home album of the year. We'll get to
For
that
the first time.
for the first time. And then you had the black sweep of the top three: song of the year, record of the year, album of the year. Beyonce getting album, Kendrick Lamar with Not Like Us taking song and record of the year. Very black night. And as a whole, I'll say this was probably one of the better Grammy ceremonies I've seen recently. The performances were decent. was a little stretched out that day. It was like 3.5 hours. It carried
Oh
on a
wow.
little long,
Okay.
but pretty solid thing. But what Black Knight? Yeah, we took the top three. Where do we want to start there?
Right. I think we definitely started Beyonce.
Oh, you gonna start
And
with
then
Beyonce?
let's start there. Let's start there. And
Can we start with Kendrick? Beyonce is the deeper hole. Kendrick is the easy one. Kendrick's the
okay,
easy one
let's start
because
with Kendrick.
yeah, let's start with Kendrick. Simply because it shouldn't have been a surprise. Like that was a monster
No.
song we have not seen in who knows how long.
And
That
I think people might be like, "Oh, what's the big deal?" I think people need to understand. This was a diss song.
that to me don't even matter. The song was everywhere, regardless
But
of
you don't
subject
you
matter, regardless of what it was
historically
about.
you don't expect a diss song
That's that's
to
that's that's the cherry on the sundae. At the
right.
whole, the song as a song, it was a smash that we have not seen in a long time. That song dropped in late March and lasted and is still being played and now is can't be no question he's got to perform it this Sunday on the Super Bowl. Like we have not seen a smash record like that across all formats
When I say you're
and
about to
why.
hear the whole Superdome, you thought it was something to hear everybody at the Grammys sing A minor.
That's what's going to be interesting because
Everybody at the Super Bowl is lyric for lyric, word for word about to go for this. They about to go hard the whole song.
that's the question is what is going to happen here because you have the Drake lawsuit. There are rumors. There are rumors that the NFL has asked Kendrick not to perform the song. I've also heard rumors that Kendrick hasn't agreed to that. The latest rumor I've heard is that
Mm.
he will not perform the entire song. He will simply play the instrumental.
I think even if he plays the instrumental, the crowd will
Oh,
sing the song.
yeah, yes, because if Drake got to be hurting right now to see
Definitely.
that man take two of the biggest awards possible in music for this song, and yes, at that ceremony, the crowd was singing. It's going to be interesting this halftime show how this song gets incorporated because before this moment, I could possibly see it not happening because of all the stuff surrounding it. There is no way you're going to do the halftime show a week after winning song and record of the year and not include that song in some way, shape, or fashion.
Do you hear what I'm saying?
It's going to be interesting because yes, even if we just go with the rumor that he just does the instrumental, yeah, that crowd, how long are you what part are you going to stop? Because the natural stopping point is that spot,
Do you
and
see
you
what
go,
I'm
but
saying?
like I'm here for the funeral and the fact that he did this whole thing on the Grammys in the full Canadian tuxedo with the matching Canadian tuxedo fitted. Like Drake got to be put on suicide watch because
He needs to. He needs to. He needs to. Because at this point, it's like exactly what you said. I think what is getting to Drake more is the longevity that this is having with the people.
it's
Kendrick
Beyonce was singing along to that song at the Grammys,
Taylor was cutting
clapping
up.
on.
Taylor
Like,
Swift was cutting up.
I don't even care about the game low key this week because yes, it's still fuck the Eagles. But like, this is one like this is the moment we are waiting for this, just from culture to see what's going to happen. Like, how is this going to go down? Yeah, stay tuned because yeah, that's
That halftime show gonna be interesting and the aftermath of it.
yeah.
But do you think Drake puts anything on this album he has coming out with who is it? Playboy Cardi?
Who cares? Who cares? Drake need to go have a seat and go
He
away for a minute. Go,
goes he needs to go in a different direction.
just go away for a minute. Cause
Yeah.
yeah, we're past the repass. We're about to celebrate the 1 year anniversary of the death.
Do you hear me?
That's literally what's about to happen at the Super Bowl. So stay tuned. We'll see what's going to happen. Now let's get into the
I'm
Beyonce
a,
because that's the
no,
biggest.
hold
That's
on.
the biggest.
Before we go to Beyonce, let
Uh-huh.
me just touch on this. How do you feel about Doechii, man? I think that was just very I feel like it was very interesting. I'm not gonna say I'm even a Doechii fan or like I could just name off songs of hers. But I am like familiar with her and familiar with her style. Why not?
I loved the Doechii moment because Doechii is an artist with her own voice, her own like
Yeah.
Doechii reminds me of old school. Like even my wife when she was watching, she's like, "He
Yeah.
sounds like MC Light," and not to say that she's trying to copy, but it's she has a signature ish. Like it's not what anybody else is. She's got is doing out here. She's got her own look. She's got her own thing. She's not out here rapping the same stuff everybody's rapping out.
Nope.
Love it. That's you need the variety, and
Yeah.
I love what she's bringing. We'll probably touch on that again after Beyonce because that's I
Oh yeah,
think
because
that's a
that's definitely. I
larger
mean,
thing.
that's still
Yeah,
history made.
yeah,
She just third female to win best rap album. Come on, like
yeah,
that's amazing.
yeah, and two are pretty recent. So yeah,
Right.
gotta gotta love it. I love the moment, and that's how the show started off. And we definitely needed that positive black energy going into it, kicking things off. Beyonce.
Here we
Um,
go.
I wasn't expecting that, especially
Nobody
when she
was.
won the country album year best country album award. I was specifically like, okay, yep, they not she not
Album
going
of the
to do it
year.
again.
That's gonna be it.
I
That's
was like,
it.
I,
Okay, they gave her one.
they get no. Well, to me, it was because the Grammys is going to miss out this history opportunity. Because you had Beyonce winning the country album, that's huge, and then that gave you the opportunity to give the album of the year to Taylor, and to continue to push that record further. And I was like, okay, this how they going to satisfy it. When she won that country, I was like,
Right.
okay, that to me that was the clear indicator. That was a shock. That was probably the biggest shock of the night. Was that Beyonce actually got it for Cowboy Carter? I'm glad she got it finally. Let's get the monkey off the back. That's like
I
okay,
will
great.
say a few things. Who would have ever thought Beyonce doing country is what would have gotten her the album of the year? I mean, meanwhile, no offense, I love Beyonce, but I'm just ready for her to get back in her R&B bag. Can we just have a little bit more of that?
That's not gonna happen. You waiting a long time because supposedly because the tour was just announced, which means
Yep.
the third album isn't coming until next year, and that's
Yep.
to be the rock album of this trilogy as she takes. So you're not getting R&B Beyonce. I don't know if you'll ever get R&B Beyonce again because I could easily see her after doing this trilogy. That's your great magnum opus, and you're done. I could easily see that happening.
You know, hopefully, just one feat. I don't know. I don't know. We might, like you said, we might not ever get it.
You're
But
not
her
going.
getting
You're not gonna get it.
it's also people's thing like, oh, Jay-Z must have cried real good to get this.
Well, no. Well, what was interesting with the Grammys as a whole is because we've known the issues lately, and this was the first ceremony that truly felt like a new era. 'Cause it was like, yes, we've included all
Yes.
this new
Yes.
USD, these new members, and you could see that. You could see that in who was being nominated. You could see that in the performances. You could see that in the categories that were televised. Like it felt like, okay, cool. The Grammys is getting a little more in touch with what is mainstream nowadays. And okay, because I truly believe if you have the previous voting body that without this new energy that they've
Oh,
had,
none of that would
Beyonce's not
happen.
winning that category.
No.
So I true because they made that point, especially them last couple announcements, and the winner that was voted on by over 13,000 members, like they let you
They
know,
harked on that,
marked on it.
definitely.
So yeah, I don't think she. If you had the older body, I don't think she wins. Of course, now all the questions of legacy and folks comparing her to Michael Jackson. Stop,
Just let
stop,
her be her.
stop.
Right. Just let her
Yes,
be her.
yes. Like there's nothing wrong with Beyonce being the LeBron of this era. Let her be LeBron.
Right.
He will not be
Right.
Michael
Right.
Jackson. That was a different game, different circumstances, which we might touch on today in a matter of fact, but completely different. No offense. Nobody will ever touch the hem of Michael Joseph Jackson. Beyonce is gonna be close. Like she up there in that realm,
Yeah.
but Michael's still completely different beast. And if you can't understand that, she's up there. Like I said, she's the LeBron of this thing, but
Yeah.
there's still MJ. LeBron will never be MJ, but being LeBron ain't bad. It's not
Right.
bad. So no shade to Beyonce, but yeah, I'm glad she got it. Got the monkey off the back, got the recognition. Means a lot to her. Not hating. Congratulations. Honestly, I of those albums in that category, like I said, I could have seen them giving it to Taylor, but that's really just revamped music. So great. Chris Stapleton's album in that was that album is fire too. I wouldn't have been surprised if they went that way.
Yeah.
But glad she got it. Yeah, it took her to go country to get it, which is a damn shame.
Yeah, that's just the point that's in my head too. It took her to go country to get album of the year, and that just is almost just like, uh, uh,
Well, because
um,
because of some folks have been talking, and this is to move off Beyonce just a little bit, but as a whole, it's because R&B is dead. There was no, as black as the night was, no R&B presence. Like, yeah, Lucky Day did it. Lucky Day won some things. You saw Lucky Day. You saw Coco there. You saw SZA there. You saw
saw Money
Victoria.
Long.
You saw Money Long. You saw Victoria. But like, ain't no
They're
R
background players now.
ain't no R&B performances. R&B wasn't televised.
Nope.
R&B is dead, and it's dead in the same space as rock. Rock, unfortunately, has its own ecosystem to support. I don't know what R&B is going to do, but R&B is dead in the mainstream. Yes, it is.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
I'm looking at it now. Yeah, I mean, Chris Brown won Best R&B Album, but yeah, it's like, come on, guys. Like, yeah, it's like what you said.
In a realm where the Grammys are now being run by a brother, not one televised R&B anything.
Nope.
No real R&B performances besides the Quincy tribute, which is questionable because it was Quincy. Like that wasn't an
Right.
R&B thing. It was a Quincy thing, and the tribute was it was okay. It wasn't bad, but it was left a little bit to be desired. But yeah, R&B is dead, and I don't know what your generation is going to do about it. I don't even know if y'all care
Uh, you make a point. You make a point.
because
I'll
y'all.
say this too. Um, what can be done though?
I think it's becoming clear that the issue isn't the artists themselves,
No.
because what is also apparent now is that it seems, and I said this isn't just R&B, but overall, even looking at last night, there's a certain quality that seems to be returning with some of the topper tier artists. They're not as big as we've seen before, but the ones we saw at the Grammys, there seemed to be a quality that had been missing throughout that kind of latter half of the 2010s, which is seeming to be returning. There's no scene to support it. Like I said, R&B is in the same space as rock now. Like you can look at Spotify. You go to Spotify and you go, let me listen to a genre. Do you know how far you have to search down to get to R&B? It's down by rock. Rock has its own infrastructure. R&B needs its own infrastructure
To be
because
able to support itself,
it needs
sustain
to be.
itself.
Yeah,
Definitely.
because even
I agree.
even the top stuff isn't isn't there.
Nah.
There. Like, yeah, some folks are gonna be like, well, you had Money Long with this great stuff. Coco with some, the numbers do not support how some of y'all feel about it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think the people who are actually fans and the people who are actually listening, we love it. We're caught into it. The issue is not getting us. That's not the issue because we're already bought into it. The issue is trying to get more people to buy into it. How do we get people to? But I think that's inadvertently the message of the time though. R&B was always the music you listen to when you wanted to be slower. You wanted to slow down yourself, so you put on an R&B record. But your attention span is too small to enjoy a 3 or 4 minute R&B song.
R&B doesn't have to just be slow. That's something your generation is trying. I don't know where that got put into your heads. That R&B has to be slow.
But not necessarily slow. I'm not saying like slow in the aspect of tempo. I'm saying like slow in the aspect of slow down and listen to the words you're listening to. The meat of the song is found in the words that you listen to. You can't listen and enjoy truly an R&B song while you're trying to do 15 other things.
Also, because y'all only believe music should be like 12 seconds long.
Right. That's the point I'm making. The attention span. You can't get the whole gist of how great an R&B song is from a 15-second clip.
And I, and I think it's interesting because Money Long's Made for Me. What she win? What she won an
She
award for?
won the best live performance that she
Oh no,
did.
it wasn't best live performance. It was they
Best
said
R&B live performance.
was it that?
Yep.
Wait, now you're gonna make me because I don't think the award was tied to live.
She did best R&B performance, not live.
Yeah, and what was interesting though, it was the live performance of this song, which they submitted.
Yeah, and not the record, like we
There,
have been saying.
there was some issues there in terms of timing, but it was interesting that she won for the live performance, which just so happened to include
A
background,
bridge.
a bridge, background vocals, and was actually a finished product.
Yes. 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 Yes.
I was like, interesting. Not the record version that is
Nope.
just not incomplete. No, it's they had to submit the real song. And yeah,
This is something. When I saw that she won for that specific version, I was like, boy, me and Clark gonna eat that up.
I was like, oh, that was what I was like, oh, that version. Now, I understand there were some timing things with the original that it couldn't be so this gaming the system, but it's not the only reason but it was just interesting, like, and so yeah, I think one the R&B as itself needs to find a way to support itself. That infrastructure doesn't exist, and then two, which is something that your generation hates, it needs to get back to the standards of what actual R&B is.
Right. I think I'm also take a little turn here. I'm gonna tell you somebody who also I have just been enjoying
Mm-hmm.
that I just don't see them appropriating any of the cultures. She is 100% through and through just a pop white girl, and that's Sabrina Carpenter.
And she's staying in the lane. Good.
I mean, staying in her lane, doing it well. Her fan base loves it. Hell, I'm a black man, and I get down with some of the stuff she put out too.
I ain't mad at it, but it's
She's,
staying
you
in the
know,
lane.
she's not taking that Miley, but not saying that Miley just flat out tried to appropriate other cultures.
She did. No, she
But
did.
I mean,
She did. She did. But
she did.
that was the era. That was the era, unfortunately. Um,
I think Sabrina learned from Miley's mistakes, definitely coming from Disney and just watching her progression over the past few years. Where when she was a child, she did, childish, I'm not gonna say like childish, but she did childish things. But as she matured and kept going, and now she has like this almost like roaring 20s look to her with the pin curls in the head. Like, it just looks like that's a white girl being a white girl. And I'm just so pleased with it.
Facts. Yeah, because I said, part of it is your generation or this new generation of ours lean into like they feel like R&B is limiting because you've heard a lot of I don't want to be R&B. I'm breaking. It's like R&B can be a lot of things. It is an
Right.
overarching thing. We're not even going to get into the fact that it's R&B just because you're black. But R&B is not limiting. But what I will say, the third thing that R&B needs to do is unfortunately not try to be hip hop anymore.
Yeah.
Hip
Just
hop
stop trying to blend the two.
Hip hop is a great genre. It is the last musical innovation that we've truly had in a long time, 50 years now at this point.
Right.
And it is the most popular probably form of music right now, although it's slightly maybe diminishing. But part of it is R&B needs to understand it's no longer in the spotlight because it's not just the only black thing. Let's be honest. Part of the thing that helped R&B back in the day was yes, it was the only black product. And so now you have the space where you have these two black mega genres going head to head, and we see which one that this era of white people like to lean towards more.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So the question is, R&B on the one hand, what you gonna do? And we seen part of what they tried to do was okay, that they're going this way, we got to be more this way. No,
Nah.
no.
You stick tried and true to R&B.
And unfortunately, I think part of it is it just may be because them folk like hip hop more. They may never come back to R&B like that, which is fine. R&B may never and probably will never get to the heights of what it was back in the day ever again. We need to be okay with that. but we need to like give us something that's actually good, that's in mass again. And there's artists delivering some of that, but I said the other half of that is the industry needs to find a way of support because there is good stuff being made out there, but it's the situation. If a tree falls in the woods and nobody's around, doesn't make a sound. And
Real.
that's what some of this stuff is. Yeah. So and so is making a great artist, but if you're the only person who ever heard them or listened to them, what's it matter? And it's that cross thing of the whole side these siloed experiences we now have.
Right, right.
Going back to Beyonce, I would say part of the reason why, as we saw, and even Taylor Swift to an extent, major concert tours over the last couple years.
Yeah.
It's not simply because those fan bases are the strong, like yes, they're super strong fan bases, but I would also postulate because it's one of the few times that you can get into a space with a lot of other people and know that you're on the same wavelength, enjoying the same material, which is something that I think that is necessity to what the things we enjoy. We don't want to be the siloed experience. We
No.
want to know, okay, if I enjoy this, everybody else is liking it too. And right now in this environment, the major concert arena is the only place you truly get that feeling, and not everybody can do that. As we've seen, you have a lot of artists trying to do these arena tours, and they're getting canceled.
I mean, failing
Failing.
bad.
But then on the other hand, which speaks to the greatness of a Taylor or of a Beyonce, these major tours over and over again, because Beyonce tax season here, Beyonce gonna get that check from you.
Oh, yes, indeed.
But it's one of the few times that you're gonna be in a space knowing that everybody is enjoying the same thing at the same moment, which is a key thing in music that we just don't you don't have those spaces anymore.
Right. It's sad when we can't, like you just said, it's crazy when we can't put on a modern day R&B record and everybody in the room is vibing to it.
It's they not hitting mainstream, bruh.
Nah.
In 2024, you had one one R&B number one record. One. One.
Jesus.
Eight were top 10 records throughout the year. Eight. It's a sad numbers. Those are sad numbers.
Jesus.
Because when I was growing up,
Those numbers is like in what, the 20s?
pick a year in the 90s.
94.
1994. You had 10 number one songs period throughout the year.
Wow.
Five of those were R&B. Five of the number one songs in the country were R&B. Out of the top 10, 66 total top 10 records in 1994. 26 of them were R&B.
Wow.
Like the perfect example is how now that you see hip hop is everywhere. That was R&B on an even better scale back then. Bigger scale.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Everywhere. Like massive. And it's never going to get back to there again. Unfortunately.
Nope.
Would love to see it get there. But
We all would.
y'all don't appreciate it. Y'all too busy wanting to be sexy red. Fat was it fat wet and something?
Man, what? I was like, how is this
Fat juicy wet.
simultaneously?
Fat juicy wet. That's what y'all on. Fat
How
juicy.
how is it simultaneously Bruno's worst song, but could be her best song?
Well, here's the thing. It's not Bruno's song. That's not Bruno's song. He is a feature on that track just doing the chorus. He ain't doing no verse. He literally just singing the chorus. That's an easy check. Somebody probably was like, yo, Bruno, you want it? Sure, I got that. Like, he ain't do no verse.
Let me
He
just
ain't
say
sing-
this.
No, he literally just cut the chorus. That's all he did. I ain't mad at him for that check because he got to pay them cocaine bills, apparently. So that
Bruno is on
Sexy
that.
Red song.
Bruno is on crack, and since he has started, I'm telling y'all, if you want to really listen to some really, I'm just telling y'all, I feel like we need one more album in with him. But that Silk Sonic, I just want one more album. That's all I want.
Bruno know how to make some good up-tempo R&B.
I mean,
know.
doesn't he though?
He know. That everybody loves. That everybody loves. Like that's
Everybody across all platforms, ethnicities, everybody. Him and Anderson Paak, I'm just putting it out there. If they can get on a tour, it could be like the smallest little tour. I'm coming to it.
Good
I'm
show.
for real.
Good show. Anderson, co-winner with No Worries, and Avery Sunshine. So,
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
I ain't mad at that. Enjoy, yeah. Sometimes it's like, yep, these the two winners. We're gonna give it to them.
Right.
So yes. Y'all need to figure out if y'all gonna support this thing or not. That's the question. But Jay,
Yeah.
no, the industry needs to support it. And like I said, unfortunately, it ain't there. Y'all too focused on hip hop. Y'all too focused on the vibe. Y'all too focused on y'all don't care about lyrics or actual singing
Yeah.
nowadays from your artists. But that's your generation. It's okay. Gonna be
Yep.
getting Valentine's vibes to Fat Juicy and Wet. That's it's
Wow.
Y and Z the divide conversation between the generations. This is Generation Y here, feeling real sorry for Gen Z.
But I mean, overall in all, good Grammys.
Oh no, yeah. Like I said, there is hope. These kind of Grammys gave hope. I said, unfortunately, I just think as in general, mainstream is just
Not it's just gonna be just a uphill battle for R&B to get back in the
not
mainstream.
even R&B. It's all it's and unfortunately that's also part of the problem. It's not just R&B. It is all genres. Because I mean, you look at those the new artists that were presented during the Grammys. Like that was a great presentation to be like, yep, here are all the new artists. You're getting them back to back. We can see, yep,
Right.
quality there. Like even one of them, Teddy Swims. Love Teddy.
Love Teddy.
He's in the mainstream right now, but he ain't. I wouldn't call him like super huge to what we're used to of what mainstream being. But he's mainstream
Correct.
right now. But he's not like out there. He only got the
I'm
one
almost saying
song too
like
right
this.
now.
I'm almost saying like this. It used to be that when you saw like the album of the year category, when you saw like even just the genre that you know category, you felt like you knew every album, every song in that category because you knew mainstream.
Not I wouldn't even, especially with albums. It's not even necessarily just one song. You could recognize two or three.
Yeah,
They had standout singles. Teddy's got a single right now, "Lose Control," that's been killing it.
killing it.
Nobody else can name another. And I got some album cuts in my playlist. I like Teddy's music, but he's got the one single, which is that's the sap. It's like you're not getting the build up. Like hell, even Money with her single. That's the single. She hasn't had anything crack. Victoria, On My Mama. Great single.
They're
Nothing
making
else
these
hit after
junkers
that.
into one hit wonders.
And I think that's that. There we go. That's the perfect encapsulation. Your mainstream now is being supported by one hit wonders who cannot find the second hit. Versus when I was coming up, the one hit wonder, I don't want to call them the bottom of the barrel, but they were your depth. They were the ones filling in the cracks.
Right. To
You had
fill
your
in the
you had your
time.
you had your
Right.
people, yeah, you had your Aaliyahs, your Brandys, your Celine Dion's, your Luthers, whatever. They would drop a project, Mariah, Mary, whatever, and it would have 3, 4 singles on it. So those were your superstars. And your one hit wonders were the ones, yeah, we amongst all these heavy hitters, I got my one in. Your Mark Morrison, Return of the Mac, songs like
Right.
that. Y'all don't want to call these folks one hit wonders because they represent right now the best of the best for y'all, which is sad. Which is sad.
Yep.
But alas. Little music conversation for you, wrapping up the Grammys, Y and Z conversation between the generations. Like, share, subscribe. If you think we on some BS, if you think R&B is a lot, hey, I'll put a challenge out. If you think you can prove R&B is alive, come on, please bring it. I'll gladly have that debate with anybody. But in the meantime, sir, where else could they catch you? Because didn't you just recently drop a season 2 of your other show? I ran,
Yeah, man. It's gonna be the Lewis brand on YouTube. Catch me over there. What I ran to with Xavier D. Lewis. Have yet to drop an episode this year. Just been super busy with some stuff, but that should be headed up out real soon. I definitely want to push out one this month, just for that audience as well. And yeah, I'm super excited for everything that's happening over there. You know, you can catch me on Instagram, the real Xavier Lewis, Facebook, Xavier D. Lewis, YouTube, the Lewis brand. We out there. And unfortunately, I did delete TikTok. So I'm never getting it
You ain't
back.
getting that back.
Never getting it back. It's all right though. It's all right though. You can catch me everywhere else, but on there.
J Clark 787 also got another podcast. If any sci-fi Star Trek fans out there, it's called Star Trek from 60,000 light years. I do it with another brother of mine by the name of Trekkie B47, named Eric Berry. If you're into sci-fi and Star Trek, we taking a look from there. You can catch us. We on YouTube, Instagram, all that good jazz. But yeah, until next time, the
I
generations.
think I might go back and rewatch X-Men 97. That one season was so good. Is it getting renewed?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Side note, did you see the Fantastic Four trailer that dropped the other day?
Oh, I did not watch the. When did it drop?
It dropped Tuesday morning. Tuesday
Watch
morning.
this. Oh, have you also been hearing rumors that Marvel's trying to get Jonathan Majors back?
I have because yeah, I
They need him. They
you can
should
still
have
do
never got
Kang.
rid of
You
him.
can still do Kang. You can still do Kang.
We need Kang right now. No offense to anybody else and what you're trying to do with Doctor Doom, but Kang needs to be the setup to Doctor Doom. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hey, get aligned. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Yeah. Because side note, again, trailers. Did you see the trailer for that for his movie that's finally being the bodybuilding one?
Yeah.
Ooh, that looks.
Bruh, some great movies gonna be coming out soon. I'm excited for every last one of them.
Oh, I mean, before we get out of here, just the Michael B. Jordan, Ryan Coogler one. Now that's the one. Oh yeah, that one is
It's
looking
gonna be good.
is looking. Yeah,
Have you been interested to go see the Kiki Palmer and SZA movie?
I'll wait for it on TV or whichever streaming service it's
Yeah,
on.
that's what I'm gonna wait for it too. I don't feel like I want to go to the movies and watch it, but I do feel like I want to watch it.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Like especially for me as a married man with a younger kid who cannot baby
Oh,
like trying to find the time to really go for me and my wife to go to a movie.
yeah.
You
It
know,
has to be
it has
really
to be
worth
something that's
it.
like I want to see it on the big screen. So yeah, I'm gonna find some time to watch like the Falcon movie coming out, Captain America: Brave New World. I'm gonna see it, but like to get to the theater really has to be something. And so like I said, it's no shame. I want to see that film, but yeah, to me, it's not driving me to be like, okay, yep, let me get the effort to find a babysitter, pay a babysitter, go to the like it's yeah. I'll just wait
Yeah.
for it to hit whichever streaming service it's going to hit.
But
Alrighty, yeah, let's get out of here, sir. We've taken enough of these people's time. Thank you if you spent any time with us.
yes,
Until
sir.
until the next time, peace out. Be safe out there.
Peace.